What's going on, people? It's your boy SPOXEMAN. I got Beto alongside here, my good friend.
I got mute.
I got mute.
Really good introduction, Festus,
Thank
but
you.
we're gonna cut because I always get first. So, hello everybody, welcome back to On the Way with Festus and Beto. I just kidding, Festus. You surprised me.
Mine was
with
better
that.
though. My intro was better.
Huh?
My introduction was better.
Yours more like has more flow,
Yeah.
more glow in the show.
No.
No, please don't. Hey guys, so it's a new day. It's a new sunshine.
It's a new season.
It's a new season.
It's a new day.
Unfortunately, the same guys.
A fresh.
The same guys here on the way, but
Shout out to my friend Daniel Moots. Whoa. Man, this neighbor crazy.
we almost got raptured by another car.
Wow.
Yeah,
Shout out
call
to
your
Daniel
friend.
behind me.
Wait.
driving,
I will ask you a question, and then you go like, "Can I use my phone call?" And then you call, right?
Okay.
So, Festus, what do you think about people who becomes the police in church, the police of the spirit, those who are
Can I use my
criticizing who are
Can I use my
good and bad? You can go 50-50.
Oh,
You can
phone
go
a friend.
or you can call somebody.
50-50.
You're supposed to call a friend,
sorry,
bro.
sorry.
Duh.
Sorry. You gave me the option.
God. Oh, sorry. Yeah,
God,
but you already spent the 50-50. So what are you gonna do?
I don't even know what 50-50 is. I can't remember. That's when he was
It
a
was like-
millionaire, innit?
Yeah, I don't remember
I
either.
cannot even remember what 50-50 means.
That's not the point. You call the friend,
Wait,
bro.
is it 50-50 when they
You
half?
call the friend, please.
Alright, I'm calling a friend. Ring ding.
Oh, so hard. No, you call him. Like literally, call your friend.
Oh, I should call Daniel.
It's the first time we're gonna call somebody in the show on the way, so we're gonna ask him what he thinks. So we're gonna have some volume. Okay, calling up.
Yeah.
Have to speak loud. Calling.
There's little signal in this area.
No signal. So yeah, okay, we missed the opportunity. We'll call him back. Or when? Yeah. Is he on? Yeah.
Oh, he's turning this way as well. He's going to Milton Keynes too.
Yeah, it's not there, guys. But basically, Festus and I, we were talking about how dangerous or how we should never turn into the police of the spirit in church, right? That when we're like becoming like judge people, like judgmental of like that
Yeah.
church is good, that church is
That
bad.
church is bad. Like some people think that God has anointed them. You know,
Yeah.
God has called them to speak about another church or another minister.
Yes,
And I'm a defender of people. You know what I mean? Even if someone's doing something bad.
on the calling, right? Yeah.
Should I call this guy?
Yeah, call him. No, I'm on the call. Like you're the defender of people who God has called. Let's turn on
Yeah, like
the,
God has
the,
called.
the music. Can we? Yeah.
Well, even if it will turn off itself when the call.
No, because we cannot have music for YouTube purposes. Because if,
I mean, when the call starts.
Yeah.
Hello?
Daniel Mutendera.
you're
It's your
on
time. You're live on the vlog.
you're on the way.
Going on, boys?
Yeah, you're live, so you will have to speak a little bit loud and clear. So the topic on board is people who becomes judges of other ministries, that they say that guy is not called from God, that's a wrong church, that's a bad minister, blah blah blah. What are your thoughts about that?
What are your opinion on that? Like people like judging other churches, and we have this conversation sometimes. What's your opinion on it?
Yeah, about that one particular church.
Yeah.
No, you know, I always say like at the end of the day, God is our judge, you know. Like you don't know what God might be doing through a particular ministry.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, like, you don't want to grieve the Holy Spirit. So just
Wow.
Just let God do his thing. If it's not of God, God will deal with that.
Yeah.
If it is, then you haven't received the Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
So, like, I think God can move in many ways,
Yeah.
but it doesn't. Oh, it's not always necessarily in a way that we're familiar
That
to.
we're
So
familiar
let's
with.
not
Wow.
be quick to judge.
That is.
Let that.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, no, that was it. Yeah.
Oh, that's a really, really good one. I will say, Daniel, that as well, if you're in disagreement with somebody, instead of speaking behind them, try to go and speak to them, right? Say which are your points. And probably they will ignore you or not, but at least you try it, right?
Exactly. So what he's
Yeah.
saying is like, yo, if you if you know you don't agree with a certain pastor and stuff, yeah. But he said go and speak to them instead, rather than snitching and telling and gossiping, behind their back that this guy's this, that.
Yeah, gossiping feels good sometimes, but it's just not the best the best way to go.
It's true.
Yeah, no, I get that. Obviously, if you can, then do that. But a lot of the time, I've noticed when people are talking against ministries, a lot of the time it's against like big ministries that are doing well in a particular area.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
And those
Yeah.
people aren't always accessible.
yeah, that's true. That's
Yeah.
true.
But
So-
I have heard people speaking about T.D. Jakes, right? That's a good target to speak. Or Joel Austin that say, oh, that guy is not from the Spirit only because he doesn't have the Oshuko Rakarea in his church. Or like we have different.
What's the shukarara?
All the oil, all the tongues, the spectacular things that we have at church, charismatical church sometimes.
Okay.
Only because he doesn't have that there on his stage. Have we lost Daniel, right? Did we lose Daniel?
Daniel's still here. So.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Okay, you're still there. People tend to criticize big people, but where are
The
you,
phone's
right?
cutting up a bit.
That's all right. Where are you? You who are criticizing T.D. Jakes, Joel Austin, the guy of the supernatural thing,
Sid Roth.
Sid Roth, actually, where are you? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? So stop that. Stop that rubbish. You're attacking the same body.
Okay.
You can say I don't agree with that, and don't make a big fuss of it.
So the general consensus in this car is, let God do.
Hello?
Can you hear us, Daniel?
It's okay.
All right,
it's
we've
okay.
lost Daniel.
Daniel. Sorry.
We've lost him. We've lost
Sorry,
him.
yeah.
Oh, you're still there.
Oh, you still here? Still here?
Yeah, the phone's cutting up a bit. So I'm
Oh.
gonna catch you guys later. I don't
Alright.
think there's network where I am.
Yeah,
All right,
there's no
bro.
network here.
All
All
right.
right, peace.
Thank you very
All right.
much, Daniel. Really value
All
your
right.
opinion. Thank you very much, bro.
Alright.
That was
Bye.
Daniel on the
Bye-bye.
way, and he bringing some wisdom on board, and he was actually saying, you know what, God will be call them to account of what's going on is not from God. Of course, you always have the freedom of being part of that or not being part of that, but don't put like bad thoughts on people's mind. I've been there before, I have to say, and I have apologized for that. That was not the right spirit. It's a big confession to you guys, but come on, it's about to be vulnerable as well. Part of growing up in love is being vulnerable. Say, I have done that mistake, don't do it anymore. I try not to do it anymore, because it just speaks wrong about me. When you speak bad about somebody else, it speaks worse about yourself. So I've been there. I was bitter, and I was not operating a good fruit. So guys, if you're not operating a good fruit, I have the spiritual authority to tell you, stop. That's not good for you. It doesn't speak good of the nature that you're carrying. There's different ways of approaching different adversities or different scenarios. So yeah, don't become the Bible police. Oh, that manifestation is from the Spirit. Oh, that one is not from the Spirit. Maybe it's new, as Daniel was saying to you. Maybe it's operating in a way that you weren't expecting.
Yeah, don't put God in a box. But what can I say about this? So let's talk about this. Yeah, cool. There's some people, we're not meant to be judging. But what do you do when what someone is doing is blatantly wrong?
Well, the Bible speaks about it. Bring a brother, right?
Yeah.
And face them, right? If they seem not to get it,
Yeah.
bring another brother, bring all the gang, and stone him. Nice kidding. But you do what you can do, and
But as Daniel said, what if it's like a big minister, like he's very famous, you can't access him?
Well, big ministers, they have big responsibilities and they will have big consequences as well.
Yeah.
And everybody is given according to the measurement.
Yeah.
So I believe big ministers, we were speaking about the gifts are irrevocable, right?
Yeah.
And people may say God gives and God takes away, but that's not theory really. Who said that was Job, and Job was really confused about his circumstances he was going through. And God actually tells us, my gifts are irrevocable. So the truth is that there's a lot of bad people operating good gifts of the Lord, and if they do it is bad. Of course, if it's something legally bad, let's say rape, let's say child abuse, all the stuff, we have to intervene with the local authorities. We cannot cover everything in churches, guys. Like I have heard cases where pastors or apostles or anybody who had a position in church was doing something that was legally wrong. You have to call first the local authorities. You cannot say, oh, in the love of the Lord we forgive you. Yes, we forgive you, but you have to go through a process of legal process. So stop uncovering crime
For the name of Christianity.
in the name of Christianity.
There's
So
a church. There's a church that it's in the UK. I don't want to mention their name.
no,
They're very controversial. I think we were talking about them before, just before we started the video.
yeah,
And they've had a couple sort of like scandals where some stuff has gone on in the church.
yeah,
And the police had to be involved, you get what I
Yeah,
mean? And
yeah.
stuff like that obviously damage the reputation
yeah,
of a ministry, to get what I mean?
yeah.
So people always look back at that now and say, oh yeah, this church, this happened in this church, that happened in that church. But hey, when things happen that are against the law needs to intervene.
Yes,
Lie?
yes,
So we can't cover
yeah,
the wrong things up with spirituality,
yes.
because that in itself is not just. And,
Yeah, I
God
mean-
is a just God.
I mean, if I have offended you by talking bad about you, okay, there's no legal.
calling the police.
Yeah, I'm calling. Yeah, but if I have killed somebody, if I raped, and I have like done something that is against like early laws,
Yeah.
there's an early procedure for that. Whereas God has forgiven you about that, there should be consequences in the legal, and so we have that aspect that is true as well. Well, the Bible says, don't be quick to bring your brother to the tribunals,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Oh my God, if somebody is doing something that is like is a public offense,
Yeah.
has to, the police, the local authorities have to intervene.
I was having this conversation with my brother yesterday actually about when is it right to go to a local authority to discuss a matter. As a Christian,
Yeah,
if someone wrongs you,
yeah.
should you leave it and pray about it?
Runs you? What's that?
Like does you wrong?
Runs
Wrong to you.
wrongs you, okay.
Yeah. If someone wrongs you, should you turn the other cheek and pray about it,
Yeah.
or should you pursue it, like sue them or pursue it legally,
Yeah,
take it to court?
As I was saying, you first bring somebody to try to convince them. You bring them as a witness of what's going on, right?
Yeah.
Somebody who brings middle ground,
Yeah.
and then if you cannot forgive them, yeah, right? Because that's the other option, forgiveness, unless it's a public offense.
Yeah. So
We're
in
speaking
this-
about money, right?
No, not really money.
No. I'm not saying that you were speaking about that. So let's speak about that.
Okay.
If somebody in church asks you for a big loan,
Mhm.
and then you give out of love, you give them the loan, and they're not paying you back, well, you should have protect yourself first, like legally.
Yeah.
So in the love of the Lord, I give you the money, but now in the what is legal, I will call my money back to me. So we cannot misunderstood love. Love is always a responsibility. So if somebody gives you money out of love, pay back out of that love that makes you responsible. Keep saying, please. Keep going.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. I mean, in any sense of the word, you always want to, pay back those, who's giving you money.
Yeah.
When I lend people money, I expect it back. I know, and I don't like owing people money either.
Yeah.
No one does. but in that same vein, I was talking about this issue of the law, innit?
Yeah.
So let's say it's an issue with the law that, let's say, like, basically this pastor here got arrested.
Arrested.
Yeah, arrested for hate speech, or not hate speech, but he was speaking against certain things in the community, and the people in the community began to complain.
Yeah.
So the judge banned him from preaching in that area.
Oh wow.
But they weren't happy with that because in actual fact, they had every right. It was in a country where they could speak what they wanted to speak.
It was a free.
And before they actually went to preach, they asked the police permission. Are we allowed to preach this? Are we allowed to disagree with common opinion? And the police said, yeah, go ahead. This is a free country.
Oh, okay, so you have that.
And they recorded it. They had the evidence.
Yeah.
So after the judge's verdict, they weren't happy. And they now started a petition to raise money to sue the local authority.
Oh wow.
So my brother was saying, is it right for them to pursue that thing and sue the local authority legally, or should they just let it go and pray about it?
So it's a tough one, I guess.
Tough one, isn't it?
Because what will be the outpouring of that? If somebody just speaking there's different angles. If somebody's making you feel uncomfortable just because they're saying something that you agree with, that's a whole issue, right? And I think there's different sides of the spectrum that is too big to discuss in this period of time, because we're about to finish today video.
Yep.
But guys, keep that in mind. Tell us your opinions in the comments. This is really important, I guess.
Yeah.
So this is on the way. Tell us what you think. Like if you like the video. Subscribe if you loved it. This is Festus and Beto Salas. This is Beto Salas, and this is on the way. Go and see no more.
Peace.
Peace. Go to the next. See, you know what I'm gonna say. Bye bye.